Hey guys, I got a little thought for you today. Just a 1 minute thought for you to chew on. Did you know back in the Old Testament, the prophet Jeremiah tells God's people to actually pray for their enemies, to pray that God would bless their enemies? Now this feels like a really hard challenge to me. I don't know about Jeremiah, but if that was me, I'd say, God, you got to be crazy. It's the only time in the Old Testament where God actually asks his people to pray for the enemies, the ones that just defeated them in battle. Here's what I think is interesting. Go to the New Testament, and this idea shows up again and again. It's in Matthew when Jesus is talking on the Sermon on the Mount. Paul mentions it in Romans and in Titus. Peter describes why Christians should pray for their enemies. You see, I think what God wants is for his people to start thinking about everybody that doesn't know Jesus, not just their friends, not just their family. So the challenge is, if you can pray for your enemies, then there's nobody that you can't pray for. And I want to challenge you today in this manhood moment. Would you stop for just a moment and pray for somebody who's done you wrong? Pray, not that God would knock them over the head and that something terrible would happen to them. Pray that God would do something great in their life and turn their lives around. Pray that Jesus would transform them.